Hi everyone, this is Dina. I'm the Nightly Stitcher here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. And this is Wednesday, January the 15th, 2026. And I'm here to show you what all I've been working on this month and also to talk about the plans I set up for this year. I'm a little bit later than normal. I wanted to get this done earlier in the month, but I just haven't been able to do it. So if you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. Always appreciate you supporting my channel. And then anyone that's just now found me, I hope you stick around and see what I've been working on. Hopefully you'll see something you like and want to subscribe and like my videos. If you like them, I really appreciate that. Then I got a little bit of haul. I am doing a no-buy year. We'll see how long that helps, but this haul was ordered before the end of the year, so I'm okay on that. So, all right, let's get started. I'm going to kind of go over my plans first, and then we'll look at some projects. I have a new 2026 planner. I got this off of Amazon. I like these little one-year planners. This is a little different than the one I normally use, but I think I'm going to like it. I have a place up here in the front that it has every it has the months across the top, and then it has each day down through here. So what I'm doing is just writing down what I'm working on that day. So as I finish them and move on to another project, I'm putting the total number of stitches I did on that. Oh, let's stop right quick. I did want to address something that a viewer asked me, and I put this right on top so I would do it, and then I forgot to. So let me get this out of the way first. This was in my whip parade, and I had a viewer that asked me why I had so many threads hanging down on this. This is Big Red Ship of Life by Ink Circles. And she wanted to know if I didn't stitch across, because she saw so many threads hanging down. So I think she thought I was stitching down, which I am stitching down, but I'm also stitching across first and then down. So what I'm doing is, since these are kind of individuals, instead of skipping and carrying threads along the back, I am working a area as far as I can. So like with this piece here, I didn't want to carry over here, and I don't want to carry over here, and this progresses on down. So that's why I have this thread here, is because I'm stitching this piece on down. And again, I don't have a thread attached here, but this little piece right here, I have the thread for. I can't get a hold of it, but I have the thread attached to it because I am stitching this, and I'm going on down to that one. Again, here, here, here. I'm just doing the ones that are in this area, but not carrying the threads on across to the next one. So I hope that explains why I have so many threads on this. It's because I am stitching down and not carrying my threads across. Since this is a bright red, I thought it might show through the back. And if you can see, the back is a little neater by doing this, because I don't have threads being carried on the back. I'm not always that careful and that neat, but I am on this piece. So I hope that explains it and you understand it. If not, you can always ask me another question and I'll try to answer it for you. So let me put this one away then. And then we'll get back to my plans. But I wanted to get that out of the way first before we moved on. I'm going to have to get my glasses on. And my shirt, in case you can't read it, my people skills are just fine. I'm trying to read this backwards. It's my tolerance to idiots that need work. And this has a dog hair on it. Black is not my color because it shows all the dog hair. But I thought this was okay for today. So anyway, back to my planner. See, this has already been a little bit of an issue. I never go the way it's supposed to. That's why it doesn't pay for me to really make notes. I just do better by just winging it. So anyway, I showed you this where I'm writing down my projects every day. And then on the next page is a regular calendar, just like all the calendar books have. And I write what I've stitched and how many stitches I did that day. Then I also over here under the notes, I write what I've stitched on for the month. And then once I am not stitching on it, I total up my stitches and write the total number right below it. So as you can see, I worked on a peacock, unicorn, and a badger this month, and I got 2,939 stitches in it. So I've put that there, and then I've got the next one I'm working on right here. So I'll continue down by that, or doing that. I also had someone ask me about my counting stitches, and I've covered this in a few videos, so I'm not going to go over it too much, but I just wanted to quickly explain that too. When I'm doing a paper copy, which right now I've been using Markup RXP, I just love that program. It works so well once you kind of get used to it. So Nancy, the disorderly stitcher, has talked about it. She says she has been spoiled by it, and so have I. I just love that app. Takes us some getting used to, and it's been mostly error usage on my part. Whoops, let me get my legs comfortable. So, yeah, you got to play around with that app. If you haven't tried it, you get a 2-week trial. And I'm not getting, what do you call it, sponsored or supported with Markup RXP. I just like the program. I just like the app. But you get a 2-week free trial before you have to pay to actually use it. But they let you use it for 2 weeks. Let me put it that way. You put it on your device. You put it on your phone, you put it on a tablet, and it's available, I think, for Android and iPhone. Put it on whatever you want, your laptop. But, where was I going with this? You put it on there, you get a 2-week free trial. So what I did the 2-week free trial because I thought, what do I have to lose? After 2 weeks, I don't like it. I didn't spend anything for it, and I keep doing my paper patterns. So anyway, I did the 2-week free trial, and I just used that thing like you would not believe because I wanted to get the full experience of how it worked so I know whether I wanted to pay for the app for the year. And there is a yearly fee, but I feel like it is well worth it. So I just used the heck out of it for 2 weeks, and then I subscribed to it, and I was still in the learning process. And every once in a while, I still learn something about it. But I also follow the Markup RXP Facebook page, so you can ask questions, and either someone with Markup RXP will answer, or other viewers, followers will answer your question. And I've only had 1 or 2 questions, and I've gotten them answered really quick. And what I do, I have just a spiral notebook, and I'll write down like what the issue was, because I am a hard copy person. I don't do well with electronics, which is remarkable that I like Markup RXP, because I'm just not one that likes a lot of electronics. I like my paper copies. But anyway, I'll write the issue in my spiral notebook, and then I write the solution to it. And then that way I kind of have a reference, so I don't have to go to the Facebook page and ask the question over and over again, or whatever. So anyway, I like that because I can fall back on that paper copy. I can scan down and see what issue I had, find the solution for it. So anyway, that's the Markup RXP if you want to try it out. I highly encourage it. So again, let's see. Counting stitches. Markup RXP automatically counts stitches for you. So as you mark your stitches off, it totals them up, and then at the end of the day or tomorrow or next week, because it keeps that, there is a little area there for info, and you can go to a calendar, and every day it tells you how many stitches you did on that project. And each project, if you do work on 3 or 4 projects a month in Markup RXP, you go to each individual project and go to the calendar, and it tells you for that particular project how many stitches you did. So I just love it. Then on paper copies, this is where I've explained it before, and maybe people don't quite understand the way I'm saying it, but do I have anything here? Yes, I do. I have let me cover it up a little bit. Let's say this little pattern here, which I just got in my haul. I am going to stitch hello. So as I stitch the H, and I always run a working copy, so I'm never damaging my originals. But as I stitch the H, I would, when I got to a point that I wanted to stop and count stitches and highlight them, whoops, sorry, I'm shaking the table, highlight them to mark them off. As I highlight each one of those stitches, I count it. It's that simple. There's nothing hard at all about it. Count as you go, as you highlight, write it on a piece of paper. I have a little notepad. I write the project name at the top, and all through the day, whenever I'm stitching, every time I highlight and mark the stitches off, I write that number down. At the end of the day, or you can do a running total. I do it both ways. You just keep writing them down, 25, 50, 73, 29. End of the day, total those stitches up, and there you are. You're done. So that takes longer than Markup RXP. That's why I like it. It just is so much faster that I can stitch instead of getting my original, marking it off, writing it down. I would rather do a digital copy any day now, and I didn't used to be that way. So that's all it is to counting your stitches on paper copies. So let me put this back over here. Okay, now, what I have planned for the year, and you all know how well I do with plans if you follow me. I don't follow plans very well. Last year, I was going to do a no-buy. Gotta get a drink. Last year, I was going to do a no-buy. I made it till either the 1st or 2nd of January. It was that quick. So I ordered some stuff because, you know, sales are going on, and it's like, why not buy it now? So I failed last year big time. But anyway, 2026, I'm trying a no-buy year. The only thing is, if I find anything in thrift shops, let's put it this way, I'm not going to pay retail price, period. If there's a really, really good sale and I absolutely feel like I'm going to stitch it, okay. I'm going to really be careful with that, though, because I'm not going to think, oh, yeah, I really will stitch that and then not stitch it. I counted, because I put all my charts in a spreadsheet, and I have almost 1,500 charts. So, you know, I'm not going to stitch all them, but, you know, you got to have them. So, it's a collecting hobby, and it's a stitching hobby, right? So, anyway, I have tons of patterns, tons of threads, tons of fabric, all the accessories. I've stitched for over 40, 45 years. I don't need one single thing to stitch for the rest of my life. I have it all. So I'm going to concentrate more on the things I have, the patterns that I forget I have, and then I go through them. It's like, oh, this is neat. I forgot I had that. So that's what I'm going to do. If I feel like doing a start, I'm going to look at my own patterns and pick some things out of there. And I have a stack like this big of things I want to stitch in a basket. So anyway, that is the deal. My no buy, except for thrift shops. StitchCon in June, I'll be going to Weekend B, so if you see me there, stop and say hi. I am going to be very selective there again. It's got to be something that I just can't live without. Let's put it that way. I just have to have it. I don't know anything offhand what it'll be. I've been really good with things I've looked at that it's like I don't need it. I like it, but I don't need it. So I've really been good about that so far, and we are 15 days into the month, so I've been good for 15 days. But I just don't have that urging to buy anything. So this year, let me see which page is probably going to be the quickest. This is last year's. I did want to show you this. This is, I don't know what you call it. It's got each month on it. Each month has the days of the month as far as the date, not the day, but the date. And for each day, what I did, I colored in the day whenever I stitched. And the colors mean, oh, my eye is itching. The colors mean nothing other than, I just wanted it to be colorful, so I just randomly picked markers and colored it in. All the black you see on there are days I didn't stitch at all. So I did pretty good until the end of January. And right here, we lost one of our dogs, and I didn't stitch there. And you can see randomly through the months, there's quite a bit. I didn't stitch a lot of days in January because 2025 was just a horrible year for us. We lost 3 of our 5 dogs. I went into a severe depression and had to seek counseling, and I'm doing really well now. So, yeah, you just can see April, I didn't even pick up a needle. That was really a rough month, because we lost one of our dogs in January, one in March, and one in June. So it's been a hard year. So anyway, I don't have this reprinted. I do have a copy of it just to make a print off, just a copy on my copier, but I just haven't gotten it done. So let me throw this over here. You can find that on the internet. I'm not sure where, but you might do daily trackers or monthly trackers, or I don't know, something like that. I don't remember how I found it. I just ran a copy and I have it. So you could do, I don't know if you could screenshot that somehow and do a Google search. You might be able to do that. So anyway, that's what I am going to continue this year. I need to find the right page I'm looking for. Hold on just a second. Starts, finishes, whips. I went over in my whip parade that in January of 25, I had 25 whips. And as I finished in December of last year, I had 28 whips. So I had 3 more than I started with. But I did have 10 starts and 8 finishes. Nothing FFO'd, because you know me, I hate FFOing. This year, I'm determined to get some of that stuff done. So Anyway, let's see, finishes. Let me look. I stitched on 28 different projects, including the new starts, and there were 8 projects that I did not stitch on out of all my whips. So I did want to, I changed things up this year because I do want to get everything stitched on at least one round. So let me go on down here and see what else I can do. I don't need that page anymore. And I did not need that. Okay, so for this coming, or for this coming year, we're already halfway through the first month. So this year, I'm kind of changing stuff up. I wanted to do something different. I'm always looking for something different that's kind of fun. So this year, I have this notebook. You got to be kidding me. So I got this notebook, and I'm going to do more of a journal style. So I started this January 1st and just kind of talked about my plans for this year and how I felt about doing certain things, and made a list of what I was going to stitch on in January. And then down here, I started I didn't do it daily. I did, like January 1st, I kind of talked about it here. January 6th, I talked about this project when I changed projects over. And then I didn't write anything down until the 12th. So it's more of a journal and working on each project or things that I come up with as far as an idea, just thoughts, even stats. I am hot, so I'm going to be drinking water quite a bit. So anyway, let's see what else I have. I'm not going to participate in any sales, whip go, anything at all. No games, nothing. I don't do well. I'm not a great participant in things, and it's not that I don't want to participate with other people. It's just that I want to work on things that I want to work on. I'm not one to be told what to work on. Let me put it that way, like with whip go or Sal's or whatever. However, I tried the tiny decision wheel a few years ago, and again, I didn't like it telling me what to do, but I think I have a different mindset this time. So I've got new plans for the tiny decision wheel, and I hope this works out. I'm going to give it a good go because I really want it to work out. So what I'm doing, I went through and I downloaded a tiny decision wheel. You can get that in the Play Store. And you can have multiple wheels. You don't have to have just one tiny decision wheel. So what I did was, I just remembered something I forgot. I need to go get it. Hang on a minute. I'm going to pause this. Okay, I'm back. Wasn't that quick? And I am so fast. I ate lunch while I paused this, and you didn't even know it. I got downstairs. I wanted to get my tablet, and I got downstairs, and Steve was fixing lunch, and, excuse me, he was fixing lunch, so I ate lunch, and I brought a glass of tea up and my tablet, and now we're ready to roll again. So back to tiny decision wheel. I think that's where I left off. So I put the tiny decision wheel on my phone, and I put every single whip I have on there. I don't put whips in timeout like a lot of people do and just not work on them. I consider all of my whips active. And so I have 28 pieces of cross stitch going, whether I've worked on them last year or not since the year before. I still consider them whips, and they are active, just waiting for me to pull them out. So I put every single whip on a tiny decision wheel. And then I've created a second wheel, and somebody wants to say hi. Say hi. Oh, no, you can't get up there now. No, you can't get up there now. I have too much stuff. You have to stay on the floor this time. So I made a second, actually, I made 12 wheels. I did a January wheel, and what I did, I went to my wheel with all 28 whips, and I decided what I was going to do was stitch on 6 projects for January. Now, this may change because I don't know how this is going to go. If I do pick too many things to work on or not enough, and there's dog hair. So it may change. So I can adjust those wheels however I want to. But I spun the wheel that has the 28 projects on it 6 times, picked 6 projects, and that's my January stitching. And then I went on to February, did the same thing. We have grand dog, Lucy, and she's pushing the food bowl around. So that's what that noise was. So now let's try this again. So anyway, I spun the tiny decision wheel, picked 6 projects for each month, put it in each wheel accordingly. And so then I spun one time. Let's go back to January. January 1st, I spun the wheel and it stopped, and that's whatever I worked on. Now, I do have an exception on there, on each wheel. Let Freedom Ring. I am stitching on that every month until I have it finished. And I'm sorry, I don't want to show you my whips yet because I want to explain this. So I hope I'm not boring you to death since I'm not showing anything. But anyway, Let Freedom Ring by Leela's Studio. I want to stitch on it until I have it done. So every month it's moving along. And I'm putting 2,500 stitches in it every month. So I also have Bird on Apple that I'm putting 2,500 stitches in. A Peacock, a Unicorn, and a Badger, I'm putting 1,000 stitches in. Queenie by Artsy Housewife, I'm doing 1,000 stitches. Carrot Set by Roveris, I'm doing 1,000 stitches. And Lucy Cowcut, I'm doing 1,000 stitches. So those are my January whips that I'm going to stitch on. And so I spun the wheel the first time, and the first one that came up was a Peacock, a Unicorn, and a Badger. So I did, well, I was going to do, I said 1,000, but I have 2,939, so maybe I changed that to 2,500. Anyway, I have 2,939 stitches in a Peacock, Unicorn, and a Badger before I moved on, and it took like 7 days, I believe. Let me look here. No, it only took 5 days to get 2,939 stitches. So then I spun the wheel again, and it landed on Bird on Apple. Now that's another one. It's a full coverage that I bought from Etsy, and I decided I'm going to probably work on that every single month too, because it is so big. I want to make good progress this year with it. So I was going to do 2,500 stitches on that. I think I told you wrong a minute ago. No, that's what I said. Okay, so I stitched on it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days and got 2,643. So if I run close to my goal, I'm going to round it up a little bit so that I've got a little extra play there in case something comes up. Then the third project on the 12th, I spun the wheel again, my January wheel, and I got Vintage Birds by Jeanette Douglas Designs, I believe is hers. Now, I am just going to do, I had 1,000 written down, but I think I'm going to do 1,500 on that because that whip is from 2021. So I'm going to kind of use the first couple of months to give me some idea of how things are going to go and to kind of adjust accordingly. So I am working on that. I'd really like to just move everything around, along so that I'd like to get a couple of repeat sessions in them. I don't know how it's going to go. If I have any leftover time in the month, which I figure I should, then I am going to either decide on doing a new start, pull something else out of that month, that same month. I'm not moving on to any other whips. I'm only working on the 6 projects for January. So if I have leftover time towards the end of the month and I have worked on a badger, a unicorn, and a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger, I could go back and pull that one and stitch however much I want. If I want to stitch one day on it and move on to Let Freedom Ring and stitch one day on it, I can do that. So I'm kind of being flexible, but yet a schedule too. So I think hopefully that will keep my interest and move my whips along so that I can see some good progress on them. I don't want to just stitch one day and move it on, because I want to see good progress. So anyway, that's kind of the way things are going so far. So let me get on to showing you some stuff, because I'm sure you're getting tired of just listening to me gab. You can't come up here. I don't have room. Okay, so another thing I'm trying this year, and I'm going to use my tablet to show you. I got to unlock it just a minute. Let me pull out, well, I should have organized these a little better. I was going to do it according to how I stitched on them, so I need a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger, and not dump everything. But one thing just fell. Just a second. Okay. So the first thing that I stitched on this year, January 1, was a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. And everybody knows this. Lots and lots of people are stitching on this. So, yeah, everybody's familiar with this. And I wanted to do it. I know some people are doing it on green fabric so they don't have to stitch the background up in here. But I wanted to stitch the background. I wanted to stitch the background so bad that I ordered 24 skeins of the background color from 1-2-3 Stitch. And I don't know when I ordered them, because the other day when I placed my end of the year order, I ordered 24 more skeins. So I now have 48 skeins of, I think it's 935, 936, something like that. So I have lots. So I need to find a long dog, and I have long dog patterns. So I need to find something to use 936 or whatever in, because I didn't want to run out on this project and have a dye lot change, but I don't think I'm going to need 48 skeins either. So what I am going to try new this year is I'm going to show a January 1st, where my project stood on January 1st, and then where I'm at right now. So on January 1st, and I hope this comes out. Yep, it does. This was a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger on January 1st of 2026. So I had done a lot of the outline. I need to do a lot of fill-in around in those areas. I did have like the bird and the snail, this bird over here. These red lines up here at the top were my floss that I just kind of zigzagged it in and out to take it up. So I didn't want to tie it off, but I didn't want it dangling either. So that was January 1st. And this was when I got done with 2,939 stitches or whatever it was. So as you can see, my blue floss is still stuck up there. I made really good progress on this. I'm really happy with this, how it turned out. I'm loving that background color. And it's so easy. You can just mindlessly set and fill in backgrounds. So I really have enjoyed that. And then I think I did, trying to think of what I did besides the background. I could look at the picture again, but I know I think I filled in this flower and this flower. I think I filled in part of this bird. This little piece needed some stitching done on it, I think it was, and over here. Let's see. I think that was it. So yes, so I was very pleased with this piece to get it that far in just 5 days. So I'm going to lay that up here. I have my quilting machine set in my frame right there, so it's going to work good. Okay, then the second project that I spun was, I don't know what the official name is. It was one I found just on Instagram or Facebook or something, and I didn't have who it was by, so I just put it out there and asked a question, and somebody contacted me and said they knew what it was and where I could find it. So I went to Etsy and bought it. I call it Bird on Apple. And let me find you, since I only have a digital copy, I will find it, hopefully, and show you what it looks like. Just a minute. This is another one I saw, and I would love to do it. I saved a screenshot of it. I don't know who that one's by either, but I would love to do that. It's huge, but I do like that. Okay, back to, come on. All right. Let me see if I can find it. This is being very contrary. This is not the best picture of it, but it will do. It's by Stitches for You. And their logo's over it, so you can't see it real good. But it's a little sparrow sitting on an apple in an apple tree. And I have been working up here. I don't want to touch my screen, but I've been working over here on this apple. I've worked across the top. I have it on my scroll frame, and I've been working all across the top, so I haven't gotten down in the bird yet. But that's it, Stitches for You. And it doesn't say what the name of it actually is. So, whoops, let me show you my January 1st. Hold on a second. Now, let's see if I can find my January 1st. Okay. Where is it? All right. I know I have it. Maybe I have it on... Nope, there it is. Okay. Let me see if I can turn it this way. So this is where I was on January 1st. Kind of hard, and my light's going to bother it. So this was January 1st. I have a leaf going over here. Some background is the off-white, another leaf, and the apple, which you can't tell it's an apple. But that was... And what I was trying to do was just stitch in these areas so I didn't, until I got to where I needed to roll my scroll frame, and then I would move on. So that is it. And here I am right now. And I got a lot more done, as you can see. Let me see if I can do this. As you can see on the apple, I got a lot more done. I'm afraid I'm going to close my tablet. Yeah, so I did get a lot done on that apple. I love stitching on this piece. It's an 18 count Aida, and I'm doing 2 strands over 1 Aida square in a full cross. I know I'm full coverage. A lot of people do a tent stitch, but I didn't want to do that. This, I think, is so cool. These are water droplets on the apple, and they're really starting to come out. At first, it's like, that doesn't look like a water droplet, but the more I've worked on it, the more it's coming out. So anyway, that's bird on apple, my version. And let me figure out where I'm going to put this. I have my box back here. Let me try that. Okay. Let me put this over here. Okay. Next, what I am currently working on, and I should have today, and then I will be ready to move on and spin my wheel again. So what I've been working on the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, I put my planner up, so I'm not going to go and pull it out. But this is Vintage Birds by Jeanette Douglas Designs. I like this piece, but I've not enjoyed, I just haven't had the drive to pull it out and stitch on it. And I don't really know why. I'm not what is it? UFOing. I don't UFO my projects. I gotta really hate a project to do that, and I don't do that. I bet I haven't UFO'd up 3 projects in my lifetime. But anyway, I got down in here last night, and it's appealing to me more. I forgot to show you the before. The January again. Where is it at? Right here. This is where I was January 1st. I'm going to have to figure out the tablet use. Kim Hollenbeck shows her tablet, and I thought that was a good idea because I don't edit. If this is your first time here, you're going to find out I don't edit. You get everything of me. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong right there live on the screen. So anyway, this was January 1st on Vintage Birds. I had to fill in yet some of these Smyrna crosses. No, Algerian islets on the peacock's tail, and I'm sick of doing Algerian islets. And that may be why I haven't really wanted to stitch on it. So let me do this. I had to do those, but I ended up coming down and I worked on this flower right here. I did that, and then I went up and worked on some of the Algerian islets. Let me see if I wanted to show you this, but let me see if I can get it loose. Oh my, that is tight. Let me see. There. Okay. So, here it is. I filled in all but one of the eyelets. Now, I'm not the greatest at this, but they look okay to me. Good enough. Good enough for who it's for. And it's for me. So, I've worked on the eyelets, and then I came down, and I've been the last 2 or 3 days, I've worked on this bird and branch and this flower. First of all, I put this color in the wrong color, but when you look at the color copy of the pattern, they look very close, so I think it's fine. It calls for old blue paint, old red paint. No, not old blue paint. Old purple paint, old red paint, and I got mixed up and put the old purple paint in, and I think it actually was supposed to be, I can't remember if it's old red paint. Yeah, old red paint. There's also Loganberry. I've had a heck of a time with this. Loganberry. I had it. I don't know if I used it all. It's disappeared. So I have some Loganberry up in here. I think that might be what this is, but I can't find it. I can't even find the bag. I don't know why it's not under the couch. It's not in the couch. It's not in my bag. It's not in anything I have. So I don't know. But anyway, I put that in the wrong color, and I thought I'm not taking it out because it looks so similar to the cover photo. So then I proceeded on down, and I was stitching this flower in, and somehow I got off one stitch on it. So it looks a little different, but who knows what a flower's supposed to look like. You can't look at a flower and say, oh, that's one stitch off. So it stayed. So then I get down in this bird, and I am one stitch off extra in this bird right through here. Can you tell it? No. So it stayed. If you're not going to be able to notice it, it's staying. I am a firm believer in ripping out when you need to rip out. Just bite the bullet and do it. And my advice for ripping out, I hear people all the time say, I made a mistake, so I just put it away. Don't do that. Don't do that. You will never want to pull that out, find that mistake, and rip it out. If you're tired of it and you just need to get away from it, rip out the mistake and then put it away. Well, that went well. More problems. Okay, we're just going to see how long that lasts. Hannah is standing on the bed looking out the bedroom window. And of course, yeah, she's coming in here now. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Hannah. So Hannah and Tote are up here. Lucy just went downstairs. Yay. Lucy's got the loud bark. She's louder than Hannah, even though Hannah's loud. Okay, so yeah, don't put that pattern away. Don't put your project away with the mistake in it, because you really, every time you think about that, you're going to think, no, I don't want to work on that because I got to rip it out. So rip it out before you put it away. And then you're all fresh to pull it out and start again. So anyway, last night I finished up this right down through here, finished the bird. Didn't do a whole lot of stitching, but progress is progress. So I have one more night of stitching, and I decided to put 1,500 stitches in. I totaled this up, and I'm like 1,100 stitches, and I thought I can get 400 in tonight. So I changed my quota for this for 1,500. And that's why I said my January stitches are going to vary until I can kind of get the feel of how this is going to go. So yeah, this is vintage birds now compared to what it was in January. Oh, this was a poor idea. Put that crate back there. Okay, so let me put this up. And this is in one of my bird bags that I made. And I need to get to making project bags again and get them on Etsy, but I just haven't done it. So, okay. Next up, that's what I'm currently working on. So this is what I have yet to do this month. And it's however my wheel comes up. Oh, and then now we're going to have Tote crying. It's just a wonderful day at the Gentry's. Full of barks and whining. And my mess ups. So this is the Artsy Housewife. It's Queenie. I bought this at StitchCon this past year, and I really liked it and had to get it started. So this is where, I don't have to show you the picture on my tablet because this is where I'm at right now. And I don't know whether this will come up on the next spin or not. I have all the bottom to do, but I also have to put a butterfly in right here. Whoops. Right there, and then all of this. So I've got a long ways to go yet with this one. And this color fabric looks so purple, but it's really not that purple, but it always comes across on camera as being pretty purplish. So that still has to be worked on this month. Let me put that back in here. And then my next one that has to be worked on. And this is one of my, whoops, it's hung up, hang on a minute. Hung up on the wing nut. This is Let Freedom Ring. And again, since it's not been worked on, I don't have a before picture because I can show you here. And I'm not going to take it all apart because I did that in my whip parade. So I will at least show you this away. And I have everything done all the way down to here. And I've really enjoyed stitching on this. This is 36 count. And it's 1/2. I guess it would be. Maybe it's 32 count. I'm using 2/2 anyway, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's a 32 count. I thought I chose 36. But anyway, I'm really enjoying this. I love this piece, how it's coming out. Watch for the mistakes in the pattern and kind of use your own judgment on what needs to be there, because there are several mistakes in this. So this is Let Freedom Ring. Let me just put it over here. It's so big. I don't want to turn around backwards again. Okay. I thought it sounded like something hit the floor. I didn't show you the pattern, so I will do that right now, but everybody knows what Let Freedom Ring looks like. So once I get the building done, this is going to be a breeze to do. The building's solid, but that down there is going to come right on. I'm going to be able to buzz right on through that, I think. So Let Freedom Ring by Leela Studio. I want this done by... I'd like to have it done in June sometime so that I can get it framed for the 250th anniversary. So then my 6th and final whip for January is, it is Lucy Cowcut, and it is by Just Stitching Along. There's 2 different Lucy Cowcuts. I can't remember the date on the other one. This is 1825. I love this piece. And I am this far on it. So this is the same as my whip parade. I haven't worked on it. So it is very pretty. Very pretty. So all I have now to work on for this month is Lucy Cowcut, Let Freedom Ring, and Queenie. Couldn't remember. And Queenie. So what the wheel picks, we don't know. All right, let me put my tablet away and try to get this a little bit better organized. I did have a little... I think I might have shown this. I don't remember. So if I did, you're going to see it again. But I got the buttons on it. And that is this little Lizzie Kate. I'll get my elves on that. I do the Lizzie Kates 1/1 on a 28 count. And then I make them into Christmas ornaments. And I think I did show this to you. But I went ahead and I put a Just Another Button Company star on there. And I put this little red button down here. This package that's right here, I couldn't figure out, I didn't have anything to put on it for a bow, so I've been thinking about just doing like a Lazy Daisy stitch bow on it. So, to be determined, I don't know. And then it goes in my FFO basket, case, so I can try to get it made. Who am I kidding? I really do want to get things finished this year. I have so many things to do. Okay, so now we are on to haul, but I do have one big thing here I want to show you that my daughter did for me, and I love it. I had this case, and it's kind of like the sewing machine cases, but it's bigger. It's a lot bigger than a sewing machine case. But anyway, it had a company logo on the front of it in vinyl. And I took it to StitchCon last year, and it just had the logo on it. And I didn't care, whatever. It served the purpose. I could put everything in here. It's got the wheels on the bottom. The handle has decided to break on me now, so it doesn't want to retract, so it has to stay up. I even... Stop whining. I took these screws out the other day to think that I could pull this up and fix it, but I also have a piece that's broken out of here, and it has nothing to do with it not working, but I'm going to super glue that back on there so at least it looks a little better. But I took these screws out, and there's one on each side, and there's no screws. Yeah, there is screws right there. I guess I need to take those out. Anyway, I want to take this out and see what the problem was, see if I could fix it. And I couldn't get it to come off. So now I think I missed those screws. I have to try to take that off. Stay tuned. See if I can fix it. But anyway, my daughter, I was telling her, I said, I'd love to have like my logo on the front of this. And stop. So... I think she did some searching to see how to get that vinyl iron-on stuff off, and acetone worked. And she worked on getting all that label off, and then turned around and with her Cricut, she put, I think she has a Cricut. It's something like that. Anyway, she did this for me. So isn't this cool? I love that. So now we know which bag is mine when I go somewhere. So yeah, I really like that. Okay, so now I got to go down and see if I can fix the handle on this after a while. All right, then on to haul. I'm going to make you go downstairs with your dad. Okay. This I bought at the end of January. I had one last fling with shopping. Go. 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 Go find something to do. Scroll frames are now falling. Oh my gosh. What a disaster. Okay. I had one last fling with shopping because, you know, they had so many sales going on. And on 123 Stitch, I have a very long wish list. So every time I place an order, I add one or two things off of my wish list. And so this one, I added to my order. This is Hello Spring by Calico Confectionaries. I have several of their patterns. I haven't stitched any of them, but I don't know why, other than I just got so much going because I've got so many of them that I'd love to do, and I'd really like to start this one for spring. So this may be on the first to start list. And then the reason why I placed an order, and it wasn't a big order either. Well, the reason I placed the order partly, I guess mostly, was because I thought I needed background cover for color for a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. So that's why I did it. Plus, there was a couple of 3 other flosses that I was out of. I keep a backup stash of floss where I keep like 4 or 5 skeins in Ziploc bags and keep them in numerical order, and they're in one of those under the bed storage things, so I just pull it out and get what I want. So anyway, that's what that's all about. So anyway, these were on my wish list also, so I decided to go on and get them while I could. This is Little House Needleworks Winter ABCs. I've had these on my wish list for so long, and I just think they are the cutest, and I think they go very fast. Winter, spring, get the glare off. But yeah, I think they would go quickly. And then you can also use up some of your long, narrow scraps. Summer, they're a little hard to see though. And I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see what you all are seeing. And then this is autumn. So I'm thinking these might be another start also because they're long and skinny. And that's all of my new haul. Now my thrift store haul, I did pretty good. I have not been anywhere since the first of the year doing any thrifting at all. So we went yesterday because we had to go to check on the grand cat and make sure she was doing okay, because she stays at home when our daughter and son-in-law are on vacation, and then we just check on her because, you know, cats don't like to change. They like their routine. Lucy, she has a ball here. Not that Tote likes that. Tote would just soon she'd go home because Lucy comes in and she just makes herself at home. She wants on my lap, which is, I let her sit on my lap. Tote gets very upset. They've gotten into a couple of fights. Lucy has to sleep in bed under the covers, but Tote lays on my pillow up by my head. So, yeah, it's funny. But anyway, we had to go check on the grand cat yesterday. So we stopped by the thrift store, and I bought one of these storage boxes. I got that. And I like those to I put kits in them. I put quilting projects in them. I put embroidery projects in them. Just kind of whatever. The only thing, I don't use them for knitting projects because they're not deep enough for skeins of yarn. So anyway, I also, well, let's see, we only went one place. So this is what I found. I found this. It's the Cottage Garden Samplings, the Songbird Garden Series number 7, Have Faith. And it's this. I'm not a religious person, so I'm not going to put faith on there, but I think it's very pretty right like that. So that one, there's a bunch of those I would like to have, and I just haven't bought those either. Now, I said I'm not a religious person, and I'm not, but I thought I've seen this stitched, and it's beautiful, and I thought it would make a nice giveaway or something. It's The Last Supper. It is a beautiful piece. And I'm not totally against it. I stitch Adam and Eve on samplers and stuff, but I'm just not that into it. Let me put it that way. No offense to anybody that is. But anyway, that one. I got these all for either a quarter or 50 cents. Yeah, that one I gave a quarter for. The other one I gave 50 cents for. Harvest Light by Imaginating. I gave a quarter for this. And I really like that. But I'm not wild about this here or this border, all this background. But I thought, an overdyed fabric would be so pretty with the modeling in the background. So I may try doing something like that. Whether I get to it or not, who knows. This is another one I thought was very pretty for 25 cents. And the books are all in very good condition. Very good. The problem with this one is we open it, and there it is. So I'm going to have to run copies of that before I do anything with it. Wait a minute. There's 2 patterns in here. I just realized that. There's the watering can. Hang on. Let me fold it up again. There's the watering can, and there's the old well pump. So both of those are really pretty. Okay, so that was a whole 25 cents. And then I got this one. I don't think I will stitch it, but again, it's really pretty. The book's in excellent condition. And I thought I might use it for a giveaway or something. This is Pheasants by Stony Creek. And it's very pretty. I like Stony Creek. I used to stitch Stony Creek quite a bit back in the day. This is another Stony Creek. I will definitely keep this for myself. This is Birds of a Feather. And I like this one and this one. Not too wild about the one flying in the air. But then again, on the back, I really like this one. The hummingbirds. And what's this one down here? I can't tell because I don't have my glasses on. I don't want to put them on. I don't know. You can tell what it is. This one was a quarter, and it was birds for all season. And the cover photo is blurry. I don't know why they didn't retake these photos, because surely it's not something in the printing, but I guess it could be. But anyway, the birds at the feeder and the birdhouse, and then they've taken some individual ones, like this one is this one, this one is this one, this one is this one, and then there's the cardinal. But I thought that was real pretty. And then this one, I definitely will be keeping it. I have daisies. This one is Dreaming of Tulips. So I think the other one, I think they're Dreaming of, and then a flower of some kind. So I think mine that I already have is called Dreaming of Daisies, probably, by Rosewood Manor. And isn't that pretty? I really like that. And that one was 50 cents. Then hummingbirds, I gave 50 cents for. And there's those 5. And then these are on different fabrics. They're the same patterns, I believe. Yeah, they're the same patterns, but they're just done on different fabric. And then this one, I couldn't figure this one out. I gave a quarter for it, and it's stapled right here, and I need to pull the staple out. I haven't done it yet because I wanted to be careful when I pulled it out. But it's the greatest of these faith, #1 in a series. It says Summer House Stitch Works was this one, and again, I won't do that. I'll just do that top part. But when I looked, I bought it. And then I was looking when we got in the car. This is just a chart. And it's got a little bird in a nest. And it says goodness and mercy. But that's all it is. It's 3 copies of the same chart. So I don't know about that. And then also stapled to it by Rebel Stitcher is Spring Quakers, Bunnies, and Chicks. So that's that one. So I don't know what the deal is. They're all stapled together, but there's 3 different patterns, and I only gave a quarter for it. Then the next one, these two kind of go together, I guess, if you wanted to put them together. This is by Ginger and Spice. These are old. I don't know if they have a year on them, but I'd say they're probably early 90s. They're not hand-drawn, but they're pretty old. Well, I don't see a date. Do I see a date? No, not there. Okay. Ginger and Spice, Autumn Splendor. I love flowers. I love the flowers and the birds. So that one I would love to do too. And then the other one by Ginger and Spice is called Fall Crab Apples. And again, that's the same pattern. One's just made into a pillow. But aren't those pretty? Okay, and then my last one, as far as cross stitch, I have some non-cross stitch finds also. This is a primitive embroidery piece. I gave $1 for it. Oh, Christmas Tree. I got it home and I thought, oh, it's got the fabric in there to do it on too. So I opened it up and this is what I found. It's already been done. Somebody stitched it and put it back in the bag. So I have the pattern if I wanted to do it again, but I also have this that I can FFO. So that'll go straight in my FFO box and see if I can get that one done. Okay, now for non-stitching thrift finds, I'm just going to show you these very quickly because you may be interested and you may not. But anyway, I found this puzzle for 4th of July. Isn't that pretty? That will be so much fun to put together. It may be pretty hard, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. And it's 1,500 pieces. So this is a Color Lux puzzle, premium puzzle. So I don't think I've ever done a Color Lux, so I don't know how good the quality is. But anyway, that was one of my finds. I found, let me get it up in my lap, this little lantern I found at, oh, actually I got the puzzle at Goodwill, I forgot. And I got this at Goodwill. And it doesn't have a timer, it just has an on-off. But isn't that cute? So I got that. That was like $2 and something. Can you believe that? Okay. And then I bought a book by Robin Carr. I've never read her books. It's called The Friendship Club. But it looks like it's kind of along the other books that I read. I like Erin Hildebrand. I've read a lot of hers, and that's what kind of gave me the kind of similar to. And then I bought this basket, and it was a little more, $11 and something. $11 and something. But I like these kind of baskets that are square, that have the wire supports up in here. They hold up much better. They've got the wire support on all the edges. And I use these a lot. Since we live in a 2-story house, we're always bringing stuff upstairs or down. And so I just set one of these at the top of the stairs, one at the bottom of the stairs, and when I get stuff in it, I take it up or down. And then I also use it for other things as far as stitching or yarn or whatever. So that was my other find. That was my last find. So anyway, that's it for today. I don't have anything else to show you. And gosh, if you stayed with me, thank you, because it's been a mess, to put it mildly. Still have Tote out in the hall whining, so I need to go take her downstairs. So anyway, I am going to try to this is a repeat from probably every Flosstube I've ever done. I am going to try to video more often. Yeah, right? You're saying she ain't gonna do it. But yeah, I am going to try to video a little more often than I have been. I'm still trying to figure it out. I got a new table for in here. My husband put rollers on it so I can get it out of my way if I need to. But I have a new table for in here when I do video. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out what I can do to video more often so I don't have to round everything up all at once. So anyway, stay tuned. If you found this at all entertaining with all the mess ups and all the dog barks and the pause to go eat lunch and backtracking and whatever, I appreciate it if you've stuck around. And then what else was I gonna say? Stay tuned and see what I have coming up for February, because I'm going to do some more wheel spins and see what I will be stitching on first in February. So I thank you for staying, and I will see you again next time. Bye.